The holidays can be a tough time for those who are processing the loss of a loved one, and that is especially true for kids. Each year, the Thursday before Thanksgiving is recognized as Children's Grief Awareness Day. And in Portland, one organization is working year-round to support kids and families who've lost a parent or a sibling. It's called the Douge Center. Fox 4's Ezra Kaplan has a look at the work they do. Good morning.
Good morning. You know, when grown-ups suffer a loss, they lean on each other and create safe spaces to mourn and process the feelings. But when a child loses a parent or a sibling, they often feel all alone. Unlike adults that have friends who have probably, their friends have probably never experienced anything like it. At the Douge Center, kids working through grief find a safe space and a group of peers with an unfortunately common experience.
The first place I sat was right here, like on the first day that I came in.
At 11 years old, Lula Olivaria-Poor already has wisdom beyond her years.
Don't sweat the small stuff. I'm in middle school right now, so there's a lot of little dramas, and now that causes like a lot of big emotions, and I know how to deal with the big emotions. And when it's appropriate to really like have big emotions.
Emotions like sadness, joy, and grief. Do you think that your experience with grief has changed as you've gotten older?
Of course. Back a few years ago, I didn't quite understand everything, and now I know that it's okay to process however I need to, and that my dad's dead, and that's okay because everyone's parents die at some point, and it just happened a little earlier for me.
Just sitting here, you met a friend almost immediately.
Yeah, she was sitting right there. My dad died of leukemia when I was 6 years old.
You miss him a lot.
Yeah.
Lula is one of the 6 million U.S. children who lose a parent or sibling before graduating from high school. That's 1 in every 18 kids. At the Douge Center in Southeast Portland, these kids and their families are given space and support to process their grief.
It's just such an amazing place where I get to talk about anything I need to. Anything that involves grief, it's fine here. Like, it's just such a warm, welcoming place, especially for kids like me. Because at school, there's not a lot of people I can relate to, but here, everyone has gone through something similar, and I can just talk to them freely without, like, censoring what I say because they might not understand.
Those who work here call it a safe haven where grief is normal. A mix of professional staff and trained volunteer facilitators practice a peer support model. Children are encouraged to talk and play with each other, sharing their experiences in the process. They'll be the first to admit the kids are the real healing force here. Have you been able to kind of pass on any of the experiences that you've had to other kids?
Of course. Like younger kids, older kids even, who are really in the thick of it, like of grief, I've been able to like help them. I've been able to comfort them, and if they want to talk about it, we can talk about it, and I don't force them to talk about it. I love this little tree. You can put messages into the frog.
At the Douge Center, a circular hallway connects playrooms, each designed for different age groups and different expressions. One room has musical instruments. Another has a child-sized theater. Then there's the volcano room, where it's safe to express more explosive feelings. When Lula first visited 5 years ago, she was drawn to the hospital room.
I remember being in this bed a lot because me and my friend always liked to, like, one of us was the patient, one of us was the doctor, because both of our dads were kind of like always in the hospital. So it's kind of comforting to be able to like have a safe space where it's okay to like, because hospitals are normal, but for us they weren't.
While the Douge Center doesn't offer formal therapy, healing is baked into every inch of the space. Do you think that the Douge Center is gonna keep playing a role in your life?
Of course, it's always gonna play a role in my life, in that it helped me get through something really, really extremely hard in my life.
A refuge for grief in Portland. living up to its mission of being the right place when nothing feels right. The Douge Center prides itself on serving the entire community, and so all their services are completely free to families. No sliding scale, no insurance, just free support to families in tragedy. And beyond their work at the center, they also have a really impressive amount of resources online for both kids and parents processing grief. If you want to learn more about their work and get some of those resources, we will have a link on our website at kptv.com.
Ezra, I'm so glad you brought this to people's attention. First of all, that young girl is just so mature, and I mean, the way she's handling things. It's such a great interview, but what a service they provide to the community.
Really do.
And I think you're probably reaching some people who didn't know it existed, and they can utilize the resources that they have there. And I love that it's free.
Yeah, and it's
no
so
pressure
important,
on people.
right? Because for a lot of these families, they are going through so much. When a loved one dies, especially if you've got kids, you know, there's so much to deal with. The last thing that they need to be dealing with is a financial question of can they get this help that's so needed for those kids and for the parents, to be honest. And so to have this available free of charge, it just takes one more thing off the backs of those who are in the middle of crisis.
Boy, in such an important place to bring to people right before the holidays when it can be especially hard, as you mentioned. Thank you, Ezra.
Absolutely.
Really, really great piece.